The fate of the 17-year-old charged with hitting and killing Officer Amy Caprio last year now rests in the hands of a Baltimore County jury. The prosecution and defense presented closing arguments this morning before sending the case to the jury at 1:30. WMER2 News' Abby Isaacs brings us the latest live from Baltimore County Circuit Court. Abby, any indication now if the jury is going to go beyond tonight?
Well, the only indication we have right now is that this decision could be very difficult for the jury. We heard from an alternate juror who was dismissed today who called this a very tough case and said both sides made good arguments. And now the jury's left with deciding if they believe beyond a reasonable doubt that Dawnta Harris was involved in those burglaries and then the first-degree felony murder. Earlier today, the jury heard emotional closing arguments, wrapping up 6 days of trial and over 40 witness testimonies.
We know you were driving the Jeep, so tell me about how you ended up being stuck with the Jeep.
Don't know.
You have no idea?
No, I have no idea.
A changing of stories from he's never been in the Jeep to admitting he was driving it.
Yeah, I knew she was down there when I put my head.
That's when you hit the gas, just put your head down and didn't look.
No, I didn't look at anything. I was too scared to look.
It's what Dawnta Harris said during his interrogation with the lead Baltimore County detective that's at the center of the state's case against him as he stands trial for burglary and first-degree felony murder in the death of Officer Amy Caprio.
I didn't know if I was going to crash, hit the police car, or hit the police, or I didn't know if I was going to get shot or not.
Because he's charged with felony murder, the state has to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that he was an accomplice in a series of burglaries that day in May.
And you know what they're doing?
Not offhand. I just know that, well, not offhand, but to me, I think it's not something that you're supposed to be doing.
But prosecutors say Harris knew and was a conspirator, a getaway driver. His prints found on a stolen item, and he described seeing the other 3 teens arrested bring things back from unknown homes.
We had a little green bag.
A little green bag? All right.
And he had a box.
His defense says knowledge and mere presence doesn't mean guilt, and that he wasn't actually involved in the burglaries. Attorney Warren Brown telling the jury it's not about finding Harris innocent. They admit he killed Caprio. Brown asked the jury to be impartial and just look at the facts because he knows how emotional this case is, saying there are only losers.
Well, Officer Caprio, honoring her oath to serve and protect, lost her life. Her family's there, her friends, her colleagues were there, and regardless of the verdict, we can't bring her back. He does feel the pain of having taken someone's life, and that's going to be with him forever. So it's just sad all the way around.
If the jury finds Harris not guilty of both burglary charges, they were told to just completely skip over the felony murder charge during their deliberations. Now, they've been inside deliberating for over 3 hours. They've had 4 questions so far, and the judge told the defense that he will dismiss the jury at 6 o'clock if they haven't reached a verdict yet. Live at Baltimore County Circuit Court, Abby Isaacs, WMAR2 News.